The wipe so far has been pretty good. There are definitely some big issues, but on the whole, I have enjoyed every day of Escape from Tarkov that I've played. And then I had to go to Lighthouse. I had my wisdom teeth ripped out last Friday, yet somehow questing here is more painful. Lighthouse is a map that I can only describe as impressively bad. Every time I play it, every time I think about it, I genuinely do not understand how they could make something this terrible. How do you achieve this? Even worse, AI changes and the winter season only exacerbate the map's many issues. How Battlestate Games looked at both Customs and Lighthouse and decided that Customs was the map that needed a rework quicker is one of life's greatest mysteries. I genuinely do not understand that decision. So, why does it suck? Well, first off, most of the map is blank space. Here is the entire map of Lighthouse, and here is anything even remotely of interest. As you can see, a majority of the map is desolate, with nothing of value whatsoever, meaning there's no reason for people to go there. The southwest has 3 destroyed huts with barely any loot. The western side is made up of a bunch of exposed rocks that suck to be on. The middle is the main road. I dare you to run across that. And to the south are more frickin' rocks, and that's it. The only areas of interest are the water treatment plant to the north and the chalets to the east, which are mostly used as a route to get to the water treatment plant. Even worse, the snow and lack of shrubbery further reduces the areas you can go to. The western cliff face is a death zone. Some dude with the Hubble telescope on his rifle is prone on a rock somewhere across the street and is about to rip your head off. If you try to move anywhere on the map except for the lane with the chalets, you are going to have 50 snipers staring at you. This is the average Lighthouse experience. I don't recommend it. Though, I will say, if you are standing somewhere and tracer rounds are just happening to whiz past you and land at your feet, I would recommend leaving the area, or at least taking cover, or at least anything other than strafing in the same spot over and over again. I don't know what he was looking at, but I'll take it, I guess. I don't know. This map layout creates 2 problems. One, everyone is going to rush the water treatment plant, meaning that if you spawn on the southern side, you are playing a walking simulator for the first 10 minutes. The second issue is extreme bottleneck. There is really only one viable route on this map, and it is mostly made up of areas that look like this. If someone chooses to camp this route, what can you do against it? Well, simple. Plan out your next kit, queue up a YouTube video, and get ready for a loading screen into the next raid. You are not winning if someone chooses to camp this route. The entire map is like this. Either you are so exposed that you are practically begging to get shot in the face, or you are walking through one long fatal funnel. It's not even hyperbole. The main access to water treatment is a bridge with no cover on it. I'll give $10 to the first person who can guess what the most camped location in Tarkov is. The water treatment plant itself has a lot of issues. For one, it's completely surrounded by cliffs. I don't know why we are so insistent on making every part of this map a sniper's paradise, but oh well. The rogues are easy to fight, but you have to fight them in such a specific way that it is repetitive and boring. It's formulaic, and it sucks. Fighting PMCs in the water treatment area is incredibly rare, but even when it does happen, it still kinda sucks. Fighting inside the buildings is okay, but a majority of the time you end up in this awkward situation where one person is on top of a building and the other is on the ground. You can't really push the person on the roof because the only way up is this loud staircase. That being said, they also can't come down for the same reason. You can't really run away though, because if you do, they will have an easy shot on you from the high ground, so most of the time it just ends up in this awkward stalemate until someone decides they've run out of patience and either tries to blitz the other person, which 95% of the time means they're gonna die, or there are Giga Chad who decides to pop a pain med, jumps off the roof, and hopes that you don't see them on the way down. That can be fun, but it, again, very risky. And none of that really matters, because even if you do get into a fight with a PMC, you're gonna get swarmed by scavs and player scavs anyways. So it just kinda sucks. The first potential idea is to shift the entire water treatment plant to a more centralized location on the map. This will prevent the stampede of movement and give everyone a more even chance to get in there, get the loot. It might help PvP in the plant. However, my concern with this choice is that I feel like it would just turn the map into a worse version of Shoreline, so I don't think that is the best idea. Personally, I think we need to add something of value to the southwest side. Lightkeeper does not count. He is an endgame thing that a very small percentage of players will reach. Come on now. Instead, maybe put a seaside town with some pretty solid loot where those destroyed 3 cottages are right before the Lightkeeper bridge. Give the people who spawn on the southern side something to loot and fight over. They should also add more cover to the shore. It is entirely flat on the western shore, making that area a death trap. If you run along that and somebody's up on the cliff, you're cooked. There's nothing you can do. Give me cover. Give me anything whatsoever that I can use to have a fighting chance, please. In addition, they should add more cover to the western cliff face. They could add construction, trucks, debris, more rocks, anything to make the sniper duels more interesting. The way it is right now, it is mostly flat with some slight variations, so it's very, very easy to track somebody across it, whereas they're looking up at the chalets, they have this broad landscape they have to scout, meaning that they are very rarely going to win a sniper duel from that side. It should be a game of cat and mouse, not duck hunt. It'll also make the PvP on the rocks more interesting. The chalets, make them valuable again. Give players a reason to stick around and fight over them. All these ideas are just meant to open up the map, give people a reason to hang out literally anywhere else except for the water treatment plant. Not only would it prevent the northern stampede, but it would make fighting in the other areas of the map possible, and dare I say, even fun. As it stands though, Lighthouse is a 3-lane raceway, and 2 of those lanes are basically suicide. Now, Lighthouse is unlikely to change anytime soon, but we all have to do quests now, so how should you play this terrible map in its current state? If you need to get a quest done that does not require you to go to the water treatment plant, then you need to pretend that this area of the map does not exist. It's not worth it, don't go there. The way I completed Shooterborn and Punisher on this map was to slap a stupidly big scope on my rifle, find a nice comfy rock, and start watching movies and YouTube videos. In the time it took to complete these quests, I ended up watching Master and Commander, Das Boot, and several Wendigoon videos. It was surprisingly enjoyable. If you despise camping and want to get these quests done as soon as possible, then do not go north. Go south. You will be surprisingly effective because people don't expect you to go the other way, because why the hell would you? There's nothing of value down here, so if you are solely looking out for blood, it's a good way to catch people off guard. If, however, your quest requires you to do something in the water treatment plant, go at night. Rogues are dramatically easier to deal with, and you won't get swarmed by every scav in the universe. Seriously, scav aggro this wipe is terrible. I have had them shoot at me from over 150 meters away. Worse yet, they all seem to be connected on a frickin' hive mind for some reason, so as soon as one scav starts shooting at you, some completely unassociated guy 9 light years away will also lock onto your position and start shooting at you. Dealing with these guys during the day on a map this open, especially if you have to go to the center of the water treatment plant, is terrible. Going at night makes these quests actually possible, but just be sure you know when the sun is coming up, because as soon as dawn breaks, they all get their predator vision back, and if you are still out in the open, you will pay the price. And that will about do it for this Lighthouse rant video. If you are watching this video right as it came out, then I am currently live on Twitch. Be sure to drop by and say hi. Next week will be a less complainy and more fun video where I analyze the silly weapons in Escape from Tarkov, and there will be 2 different types of charts for that one, so be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, especially all the way to the end, and I hope you enjoyed.